Introducing the INEOS Grenadier. My name's Ardil and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about taking this particular vehicle on a very special journey that's going to enhance the audio system, reduce some of the road noise, and also just put a big happy smile on our client's face. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Dan. Today we're working on this INEOS Grenadier. So this client has opted for a three-way Thesis front end with custom A-pillars. So one of the first things we're going to do is 3D scan the front A-pillars to fabricate and assemble, ready for these to go in, along with some custom door mounts for the 6.5-inch mid-base. They're also having a custom subbox in the back of the vehicle. Along with the audio system, the client has gone for 85 sheets of soundproofing, which is going to be spread throughout the vehicle. To power all of the speakers in the vehicle as well, we've got an 8-channel, a 4-channel and a single-channel amp to run the whole system. So the first thing we're going to do is inspect the vehicle for any damage, and then we'll be moving into 3D scanning the A-pillars. So we've now completed 3D scanning the front A-pillars. Moving on from that, as we wait for those to print, we're going to be stripping the car down, soundproofing the front doors, and moving on with the rest of the project.
Hi guys, I'm Tom. I'm on this project with Dan, just giving him a hand at the minute. For this project we are fitting the Audison Thesis range. We've just got round to finishing putting all the XT60s on, and now we're going to throw them into the car. So let's get that done. Alright guys, so we've just completed all of our soundproofing in the doors, footwells, here in the boot, up here, over the wheel arches. We're now going to start with putting the rear quarters back in, and then we're going to start fabricating our custom sub box, which is going to sit nice and flush up to this edge, and it will look like it's come straight from factory. So let's get building. Right guys, so the next step is fabricating these mounts for the A-pillars. We're going to have a Thesis, mid-range and tweeter. So what we've done, we've already scanned the A-pillar, and Carl has kindly designed the mount for us on the CAD. So the next step is we're going to remove the A-pillar, fit this, we're going to fit our smaller handle. So yeah, let's get started. Right, so unfortunately throughout the fabrication process we have forgot to film mounting the housing, but we're now moving on to filling everything, then we're going to test it and get everything ready for trimming. So let's get filling. Right guys, so we finished all of our fabrication for the A-pillars. We've got all these nice curves to keep it all nice and flowing nicely. We're using black Milano to trim it all. So yeah, let's get to trimming.
So this is a really cool part of the segment of today's video, because now I'm going to be running you through spec of the system. You've seen some behind the scenes work so far, and then later on in today's video we're going to be listening to the final result of this system. I've already had a listen to it. It sounds absolutely breathtaking. So without further ado, let's run you through some of the spec. Firstly, what our client was after, he was really disappointed with the OEM factory system, and what we had to do was add depth, add more volume, and a hell of a lot more clarity, which is the thing he was missing, which we'll go through at the front of the vehicle. Starting off then with depth, what our client was after is not taking up boot space, because he's got loads of stuff to go into here. So what we've actually done is custom built this box. This is housing the shallow mounted Hertz 10-inch INEOS Pro sub, which looks incredible. Retrimmed that in Alcantara, looks really, really nice. It just sits in there really perfectly, still leaves loading space here. It sits well within this kind of wheel arch liner here, so it sits really neatly, not taking up too much space. We do have a few different options to this. We can go down the route of a deeper sub, which will come out a little bit further, as well as a few other options to maybe go symmetrical on either side. However, this provides a hell of a lot more depth than what the factory system was delivering. Plus, it looks really smart. It's not kind of just sat there, it's built into the car. It kind of just looks like it's supposed to be there. So that's kind of the depth side of it, covered by the designated sub that we've added into the vehicle. Into the rear doors, the only location for rear speakers is currently down here. So we're actually using a BMW product. As you guys know, if you own one of these INEOSes, you know a lot of the parts are actually BMW platform. We're actually using a BMW coaxial Audison Prima speaker into this location. Sits directly into there, plays really nice, provides that extra bit of rear feel, and it keeps the rear door looking nice and stock. Then what we've got in the front end of the car, which is where a hell of a lot of the work has taken place. So we've got 3 amps into the system. We've got the Audison Forza 8-channel, the Audison Forza 4-channel, and then the Audison Forza 1-channel, all running a fully active system. Loads and loads of power in this system, and the reason why we've done for lots and lots of power is because of the system we're running at the front end of the car. The front end of the car is using the phenomenal Audison Thesis line. This is the Audison Thesis tweeter, Audison Thesis 3-inch mid-range, and Audison Thesis 6.5-inch mid-bass driver that sits in the factory location. For those of you who know these vehicles, all they come with is obviously the rear speakers here and then these ones down at the bottom, but that means the listening position is incredibly low and the clarity can't be delivered to listening position up when you're obviously sitting in the vehicle. Having the soundstage moved higher up, so having those tweeters and mid-ranges onto a custom A-pillar, again, there's loads of different ways we can design this. This was actually taken from a similar one that we did on the last INEOS we did. Client really liked it because it's really non-obtrusive. It's very, very subtle in terms of the upgrade, in terms of how it looks cosmetically. It doesn't encroach on the windscreen space too much, and it allows for a tweeter, mid-range and mid-bass, a 3-way front end to end up at the front end of this car. This is really, really important because it gives you that separation of sound. Having that tweeter in there, having that mid-range, as well as a mid-bass driver down where it should be, down here. You've got to remember that frequency-wise, tweeter and mid-ranges are directional in terms of sound. They're the most important part to be more directional or in a better listening position. A sub can practically be anywhere, but the the higher end frequencies are really important for them to be in a good listening position. Having them so low down in a vehicle just doesn't work very well. It can be done, so if you want to keep costs down, there is an option to just keep it all down here and just do a subtle upgrade on the vehicle. However, for those people like this client that didn't want to settle for that, wanted to go for a whole nother level, this is where we then end up. We go into the world of custom A-pillars, and then we go through and fabricate and exactly how you want it, design it and fabricate exactly how you want it, give you all the options in our internal group chat with our client of how it's going to be done. But these looks really special in the car. It just sets the vehicle off really nicely, but having those as a high listening position is not only going to enhance overall clarity in the vehicle, but obviously the product itself, Thesis line, are absolutely phenomenal, and you're going to hear that shortly of what these speakers can actually deliver with the correct installation and with the correct tuning process that we go through when we do a car. So you've got 3 amps in the system, a 3-way Audison Thesis front end, Primas in the rear, Hertz Mille Pro 10 in the back. Obviously a hell of a lot of sound deadening has gone into this vehicle as well, which is really nice, because that is going to build a far better acoustic environment for this system to work in. So without further ado, we're all done here. We've gone through kind of spec with you guys, but now for the really fun part. We're going to be able to listen to the final results of the system. So join me inside, we're gonna have a listen, and you guys are gonna absolutely love this part. So ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to showcase the final part of today's video. This is, honestly, I've had a good listen to it prior to filming this, is absolutely breathtaking. So this is going to come across really nicely over to you if you guys are listening to what we're about to play. We're going to play a couple of tracks, and if you guys are listening to this on a really decent home hi-fi system, decent car audio system, decent pair of headphones, just please don't listen to it through your phone. You're never going to be able to reproduce what we're listening to in the car. I mean, you're never really going to be able to do that anyway, but this gives you a really clean example. I'll stop talking and my mic will stop, and you're going to be listening through these pair of little ears that we've got here. This is set up in the driver's side, and that's why I'm sat on the passenger side, because the system is fully time aligned to driver, as well as on the DRC AC controller we've got on the side there. We do have some other options to have central focus and a few other things, but for this demonstration purposes, we're going to do it under driver focus. So you're going to be listening through this microphone setup, which will give you a really good example of how good this system sounds. I'm going to play a couple of tracks. Obviously, they're going to have to be copyright free stuff, but we'll put the names of the tracks in there as well for you. But just sit back, relax, enjoy. This system is absolutely phenomenal. So without further ado, let's go.
If you're feeling something for me, I say it now, 'cause I can't wait for you forever. 'Cause I can't wait for you forever. 'Cause I can't wait for you forever. 'Cause I can't wait. No quiero nada, solo tú en mi habitación. Yo no quiero nada, yo no quiero esta relación, yeah. Ni romperte el corazón, yeah, yeah. Refrescame la mente para recordarte, bebé.
Absolutely crazy in here.
In my head, I was invited. I get excited when nobody knows me. In my head, you're on the outside. I'm better when I shine. The crystals inside me. In my head,
'cause you said it to the right person and they needed the compliment. But isn't it sickening? You can say you're in love with them, but it won't mean anything at all. But that's not your fault. Life's funny like that. You lose one thing.
Phenomenal in here, absolutely bonkers.
You tell him he's all you see. Tell him you got his keys, 'cause you thought he needed them, but he's not coming back again. So he's gone, leaving then. You won't see him again. It was convenient, but you won't be staying friends. And you know that, sweetie, you know that. Think you knew it before, but you just ignored that. So now you won't take backs, but there's no refunds here. So you saw the hurt, it makes you see clear.
That is just, oh, it's just special. I mean, it's phenomenal. From where these cars' stock systems are from where we are now is just a whole nother level. Thesis speakers, there's nothing like them. Honestly, every time we do it, just breathtaking. Obviously, you've gone through spec in today's video, you've seen a little bit of today's install as well. Absolutely phenomenal. Team have all pulled together to complete this one. Really, really happy with the final results. These look absolutely incredible. They're not obtrusive at all. They look like they're supposed to be there. But yeah, I mean, just overall, just absolutely breathtaking. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And you've also seen the lovely upgrade on another INEOS Grenadier that we've carried out from our team. So thank you once again for watching. I'll see you on the next one.